With this horse, and I always describe him as a cheetah ready to pounce on his prey, because he gets his head down low and he looks like he's just ready to jump on his prey in front of me. He's such a cool customer. He's a real dude. He looks fantastic and he'll really appreciate that dry track today.
Here's Sea King. It's now with Matt Dunn, ex-Harry Eustace, and Nashuilla has the ride.
I really think he only has to turn up to really win a race like this, to tell you the truth. He was fantastic bolting in the Bendigo Cup, and then he ran 11-1 in a Melbourne Cup, missed the start, nothing went right, be forgiving. Trialled at the Gold Coast with Nash for Matt Dunn, trialled well, and all things being equal, I think he's hard to beat.
Yeah, it looks well. Can't fault him at all. They've kept him up to the mark. Nash went up and trialled him, so that suggests that he's a horse that he really wants to stick with. Trading really nicely. He's not the cleanest of movers in the yard, if I was being somewhat picky, but he's in tip-top order, and if he runs up to his looks, he'll win.
Skylab, Josh Paul Perry.
Yeah, look, he was a bit better, although still well beaten last start. He's got a place chance here, back up to 1.5 miles, first time in a while.
Never anything wrong with him. It's much the same as he has done previously.
The grey, floating, Molly Burke and Matt Smith.
Well, so dominant going forward, kept running, but that was on a soft track. So he's up 3.5 kilos and 2,400 now. So he's just got to adapt to a drier track today, but going well. He
has only had the one go over this trip previously, but he had a real spring in his step at Rosehill. There was just something about him. He was on song, he jumped, he put himself there, and he was far too good for them.
Nick Our Spur, the ATC, the Beaufort winner. Tim Clark for Corey and Kylie Guerin.
Yeah, a month since landing. Big bets there at Newcastle, and they got that right. So I won't fall into the trap of knocking him again today after that experience.
Another one, I didn't see him at Newcastle when he won, but it was nice to see him get the victory. He's not an overly big gelding, doesn't carry a lot of condition, but he's got very, very fit. He's just warm under the saddlecloth.
King Frankel, number 7, Blake Spriggs and Mitch Beer.
Fitter now and ready to go forward again in one of his races. So we learned today how he's going, because you go back to his old pattern today.
He needs to find something, doesn't he? But maybe third up he might be able to show something. Oh, there we go. There
he goes.
There's
in and out.
No, it's happening. It's happening. That means he's on song. That's a good sign.
It is. Corey, you're watching. Mormona, number 9, Tyler Schiller for Neesham and Archibald.
Yeah, he's the French horse who had 2 runs last prep, and he was very good in the Queensland Cup. Second up 2,400 last preparation, covering plenty of ground. So keep tabs on the market with him. He's had little speckings during the week.
He's going to take benefit from the outing. However, he's had a 9-week let up, and I think they've tried to keep him up to the mark as much as possible. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run well, but then if he doesn't, he'll need the outing.
Kirkby, Zach Lloyd, Chris Waller.
Yeah, very one-paced and hasn't won in a while. I'm probably leaning elsewhere here.
I haven't seen him in Sydney for a while now, but his best could run well in this race. We haven't seen that for some time.
Cadavar, Karen McAvoy and Chris Waller.
Yeah, look, he's going well. Good-looking record now, improving all the time. With 53, I can't say a definite no.
It took him a while to find his fitness. He was gradually improving with each run, and then finally, once he reached his peak, he's been able to run really consistently and put 2 on the trot. So if he continues on that upward spiral, he could race well here.
And the second favourite behind Sea King is Al Cance, number 12, Rachel King for Waterhouse and Bott.
Yeah, interesting, lightly raced mare, import, she's glowing, so very good. After being attacked in the lead last start, 2,400 suits better, much harder race here, but gets to stamp herself a stayer of the future.
She's a lot better in the yard. She got herself quite hot down at Kembla, and I thought she sustained the pressure really well. She's tough, she's a bonny mare, she's parading a lot better, so that's a really positive sign to see from her.
Okay, Chantel, who do you like?
LA Cance, I wanted to follow her wherever she went off her run at Kembla the other day. She didn't get hot in the yard, which was a really positive sign. Nova College, absolutely fantastic, and there was nothing wrong with Sea King.
I am 3-12-1-2, 2 favourites for me, but a big leaning to the favourite here, Sea King. I think if he brings his right form here, off that freshen since the Melbourne Cup, I think he's got a bit of quality on this field, and just hopefully does everything right. Blinkers off him today, first time in a while, so I'll trust that's the right move for him. LL Cance, well, she could be very good, but she's just untapped so far, and you've got to like what she's done in those 2 Australian starts. But this is different race now, but she does have no weight here over a distance, which is always an edge. Huya Miles a bet for me at the price. I think he sets up really nicely, as does Naval College. So a bit of a race, but confidence in 3, 12, 1 and 2.
It was the best backed runner on the card when we did the preview show this morning around about 11 o'clock, Sea King, and that money has continued. Now a $2.60 chance with tab.com.au. You'll see that update on your screen was $3.30 this morning, went up $3.60 on Wednesday, so continued support, $3.60 into $2.60. It is going to be our biggest stand of the day so far. We were just a little bit against it with the 59 kilos, but so much money for it, so easy to lay off that Melbourne Cup run where it didn't have any luck at all. But we were just a little bit against with the big weight and preferred to be with the second pick, Al Cance, with the lightweight 53 kilos, and it's going to go forward and make its own luck. But it's a lot harder to lay Al Cance, just out of touch from its opening, $3.60 out to $3.80, but nowhere near the popularity that we've seen for the favourite. The favourite actually firms again now, $2.50. About Sea King, Naval College had been well back today, $8.50 into $6.50 after going up $11 early in the week. Just now back out to a $7.50 chance. Catavar a little bit soft today, $8 out to $10. No money at all for floating. I put it up $6 on Wednesday. Punters don't want a bar of it. It's a $14 chance. An interesting firm for Mormona off a bit of a break from the Queensland Cup there. $26 into $16 for Mormona. So there's money around to suggest it'll run well here. And then we're out to $26 line. Skylab and Nick Alspero actually missed Huya Male there. Ronnie giving it a bit of a hope here, and it's been $26 into $21 today. So a little bit of money around for Huya Male. It's another horse that's also run in a Melbourne Cup, so there's plenty of class about our top weight here. But it's all about this favourite. Well over, well, what is it, 60% of the investment on the race for Sea King. Ronnie's best bet of the day and our biggest stand of the day.
Came to Australia with Harry Eustace and won the Bendigo Cup, and that vaulted him into the Melbourne Cup as a $12 chance. He wore blinkers. They're taking the blinkers off today, and Matt Dunn is the new trainer and Nash Ruler is the new rider. Holly Dahl rode him in the Melbourne Cup. Declan Bates rode him in the Bendigo Cup. Nash and Dunn, they narrowly went down on the highway, but this is the big one of the day for them with Sea King and the big list of owners. Starts favourite in the Christmas Cup.
Christmas Cup. Heavily back favourite Sea King, barrier 3, wasn't flash out. King Frankel ridden up from the wide draw. King Frankel's looking for the lead. Allow Cant's going with it. Skylab's pretty handy, so is Naval College. And Catavar and the white cap into a forward roll. Then Kirkaby and the blue cap plonked down on the rail. Sea King just in front of it. Further back to Nick Spur. Then came floating from Huya Male. And Momona is going to settle last of all. So King Frankel at odds leads the way. Allow Cant strides up on the outside. Under a pretty decent grip, so it's not attacking for the front. Naval College sits in third with a tail trail in advance of Skylab, and there's heavily back favourite Sea King is fifth on the rails. A length further back to Catavar. Then came Kirkaby from Nick Spur. Huya Male, well, floating's going to settle well back in the field today. It's second last floating, and 2 lengths away to Momona. So working to the back now, and King Frankel shows the way at good odds by 3/4 to allow Cant. 2 after Naval College, should get every hope from there. 2 after Skylab. They're followed then by Sea King, just pulling a bit on the rails. Looks to be coming one off there. Sea King, or trying to. On the outside there is Catavar, who's striding forward now. So Catavar goes forward. Sea King just took hold again. Kirkaby risks up on the inside there in the blue cap from Nick Spurs. The field strings out a fair bit. Third last is Huya Male from Momona, and floating's got it all to do today. So King Frankel goes to the 1,000 with a length to spare. Allow Cants hasn't applied any pressure, just happy to sit there and do the chasing. Then came Naval College, and Catavar is now 1 out 1 back here at the 800 metres. Then Skylab on the outside of Kirkaby. Sea King off the fence now from Nick Spur, then Huya Male, and the last 2 Momona on the inside of floating. King Frankel at the 600 metres, being eyeballed by Allow Cants now. Allow Cants went up, gave it the stink eye, and went on by. Allow Cants goes 2, 3 lengths in front. Cadavar goes to a clear second. Then came Skylab and Sea King in the white cap getting to the outside with Huyamal. Allow Cans comes up the rise. A length and a half to Cadavar, who's really sticking to the task. 5 lengths away to Floating running on from Huyamal. Sea King's not doing enough. It's Allow Cans trying to fight off Cadavar. Allow Cans. Cadavar still having a dip. Allow Cans and Cadavar. A ripping finish right to the end. Cadavar dives and Cadavar won the Christmas Cup by a half head to Allow Cans. Got back to Nick Owl Spur, third in front of Naval College. Then came Floating. Sea King didn't pick up. Then Skylab. Further back to Momona, Huyamal, and last in was Kirkby.
Cadavar, number 11, Karen McAvoy and Chris Waller. The confidence is right up with this horse.
Once again's been brave.
Cadavar broke through at Rose Hill over 1.5 miles on the 9th of November. Went to Caulfield and got a great Blake Shin ride when he muscled his way out and got the better of them again at 1.5 miles. He stays at the distance, Ronnie, and he's tough, beating LL Cans. Waller beating Waterhouse and Bott.
Yeah, well, he keeps jumping the bar, doesn't he? And Sydney, Melbourne, and then now back to Sydney. And he was tough. He made the little move to make up his ground when they steadied up front there, and 53 on his back. He's been well placed and he's on his way. He could well be a stayer of the future. She was good again, LL Kent, I must say. She was excellent there. So the two lightweights are just singled out there. Nick Spells held his form, and very disappointing. That favourite expected much, much more, as did the market. He just overdid things a little, but still, he was presented to run on strongly and didn't. So back to the drawing board with him, maybe a little break and start from scratch with him. But a horse on the improve, relatively lightly raced, and 3 straight now.
What about Floating, Ron? He fought with Molly Burke the entire way and has actually ran on into 5th spot. Has got a lot closer than maybe you would have expected it to, considering the run it had.
Yeah, he's going really well, the horse, and we know he's better on the wet, but you're right, he had a lot to do and still was tough through the line there, although well beaten.
2:29.41, 35.39, the last 600, 11, 12, 6, 2. Cadavar wins. Karen McAvoy and Chris Waller beats LL Kents. Waterhouse and Bott. Rachel King in the saddle. And Nick Spur, the Queenslander, for the Corey and Kylie Gearan stable, and Tim Clark, 4th home Naval College, number 2. Here's Chris Waller, the winning trainer, and he is in form, Cadavar. He's turned the corner.
Yeah, he has. He's turned into a winner, that's for sure. He's been up and down the countryside, but he's enjoying his racing, and he just keeps going to another level each time he runs.
He's attacking the line and he's staying so well.
Yeah, I think it's 4 from 4 over 2,400, so he's out of an Oaks winner, and I think he might be sister to an Oaks winner. So I think he'll get to a higher level. That can do for this prep. And yeah, if you've got a good stayer, there's some good races for them.
Well done.
Thanks.
Chris Waller. And the winning time, 2:29.41. Karen McAvoy about to go over the scales in the Neville Morgan colours. Races in partnership with David Devine. And here's Karen.
Hey, just a moment. He's just having a quick... You're right. It's pretty hot out here, I'll forgive you. He's just going to a new level, this horse, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a nice staying horse, and you know, hasn't surprised me there today. You know, he had the limit on his back, but I knew he'd run the trip well, and he got out into a nice spot, and the horse in front of me wasn't really travelling and taking me along, and almost getting detached off of the horses that I thought were going to be hardest to beat. So I was able to come out, make a bit of a move and get a bit closer. Ran the back lane, and he showed a good attitude when I asked him.
Well done, Mac.
Thanks, Ta.
And we'll be back for the race 8 at 4:40.